New teasers for the amazing digital circus. What to expect in episode 5? Recently, new promotional materials for the amazing digital circus appeared on Twitter, revealing intriguing hints about upcoming episodes. As we eagerly anticipate the release of episode 5, these teasers give us a deeper insight into what's coming next. In this video breakdown, I'll go over all the key details hidden in these new clips, explore the roles of Pommy and Jax, and explain how these teasers might be connected to the 5th episode. Glitch has released 2 teaser videos so far, each containing references to both past and future episodes. The first one includes a brief confrontation between Pommy and Jax, followed by a series of callbacks to previous events in the show. However, the more interesting part is that we also see glimpses of what's yet to come. One notable moment shows Jax confronting Pommy before an abstracted character suddenly appears next to them. The characters immediately react by slowly backing away, indicating the presence of a serious threat. The second teaser serves as a continuation of the first, but is much shorter. Despite its brevity, it provides crucial information about how episode 5 might unfold. In one scene, we see a door closing and then reopening, revealing Pommy with a terrified expression. The door then shuts again and reopens to show Jax, this time holding several sticks of dynamite. Finally, the door closes once more and reopens to reveal an abstracted character, its eyes spinning wildly. What does this mean for episode 5? These teasers raise some fascinating possibilities. We know from previous Tumblr posts by Gooseworks that the next episode will primarily focus on Ragatha and Jax. However, in these promotional clips, Ragatha only appears briefly and is seen arguing with Jax. Interestingly, the footage of Ragatha consists entirely of moments from previous episodes, which could suggest that the creators are deliberately keeping her episode 5 appearance hidden to avoid spoilers. This leads to an interesting theory. Could Ragatha undergo a drastic change in episode 5? The way these teasers frame her absence suggests that her character might develop in an unexpected way, possibly taking a darker turn. It's possible that Ragatha's struggles with her identity and emotions reach a breaking point, leading to a major shift in her personality. Additionally, Pommy, Jax, and the abstracted figure prominently featured in the teasers seem to be central to the plot of episode 5. What if Ragatha is at risk of becoming abstracted by the end of the episode or at the start of episode 6? Given that Gooseworks mentioned episode 5 as the last relatively calm episode before things take a dramatic turn, this wouldn't be entirely surprising. A potentially darker turn for Ragatha. Up until now, Ragatha has been portrayed as one of the more stable and kind-hearted characters in the amazing digital circus. However, as each episode reveals new layers of her personality, we see that she is not without struggles. Episode 5 could be the turning point where her frustrations and insecurities finally come to the surface, setting her on a path toward a more tragic fate. Initially, I speculated that the next few episodes would focus on conflict among the main characters, with Kane stepping in to reconcile them. Perhaps Pommy and Kane would try to mend relationships within the group, leading to a resolution by the end of episode 6. However, after analyzing these new teasers, my theory has shifted towards something much more tragic. In episode 5, Ragatha might end up in a heated argument with the other characters, leading Kane to step in and attempt to mediate the situation. To do this, he could organize an elaborate adventure within the old stadium that was previously teased in promotional materials. This adventure could involve a series of challenges inspired by the Olympic Games, with each character participating in different sporting events. Interestingly, episode 4 subtly hinted at this possibility. Before Jax shattered Gangle's mask, we saw Ragatha, Jax, and Gangle playing baseball together. Additionally, when Kane was assigning grades to the characters for their work at the diner, we briefly saw that Kinger received the highest grade. The image associated with his score showed him riding a bull, suggesting that bull riding might be one of the events in this upcoming adventure. How will the conflict escalate? While sports might seem like a lighthearted way to bring the characters together, the competition could ultimately have the opposite effect, fueling existing tensions. Jax, known for his mischievous nature, might push Ragatha to her breaking point. If Jax provokes her enough, she could storm off and isolate herself from the group. If this happens, the next major moment in the episode could be when the characters visit Ragatha's room to check on her. However, instead of finding her, they might come face to face with her abstracted form. This would completely change the tone of the series, marking a shift toward darker storytelling. At this point, there are two possible outcomes for Ragatha's fate. The worst-case scenario: Ragatha is fully abstracted and sent to the basement, similar to Casimir the Clown from the pilot episode. If this happens, she might become an occasional background reference, much like Casimir, with little chance of being fully restored. A more hopeful outcome: Ragatha manages to maintain some sense of self despite her abstraction. If she hasn't completely lost her mind, the other characters might be able to help her stay connected to reality. Can Ragatha be saved? If Ragatha does end up becoming abstracted, the group could try to convince Cain to make an exception and allow her to stay with them. Interestingly, Zubul previously expressed confidence that the main characters are important to Cain, suggesting that they might have some leverage in negotiations. One possible loophole is that Cain might only classify characters as fully abstracted if they completely lose their sense of self. If Ragatha retains enough of her personality, Cain might not immediately recognize her as an abstraction, allowing her to remain part of the group. However, this could come at a cost. She might lose some of her memories and regress to a more childlike state. This situation could lead to an interesting new dynamic within the group. If Ragatha is essentially reborn as a more naive version of herself, the other characters might take on a protective role, trying to help her reintegrate. How Jax and Zubul might react. The responsibility of looking after Ragatha would likely fall to Jax and Zubul. Jax, known for his rough personality, might see this as an opportunity to shape Ragatha into someone more similar to himself, pushing her toward a more carefree and mischievous attitude. Meanwhile, Zubul would likely take the opposite approach, trying to help Ragatha rediscover her original personality and sense of self. Interestingly, Pommy and Gangle might end up being the most successful at guiding Ragatha's recovery. Unlike Jax and Zubul, their approach would likely focus on empathy rather than personal gain. They might offer her an entirely new way of looking at life, ultimately helping her find happiness in ways she never did before. What's next for Jax and Ragatha? Another interesting possibility is that Ragatha's temporary memory loss could allow Jax to reveal a side of himself that he usually keeps hidden. If she no longer remembers their previous conflicts, Jax might feel more comfortable opening up to her. Through this, we could finally get a deeper look into Jax's inner trauma and understand why he behaves the way he does. Final thoughts. With episode 5 on the horizon, there are countless possibilities for where the story might go. Will Ragatha truly become abstracted? How will Pommy, Jax, and the others handle the fallout? What new NPCs will be introduced in the next adventure? Share your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.